Welcome back to part 2 of the drive through the Forest of Bowland in the Ribble Valley, continuing on from Newton-in-Bowland to Tosside. On the way I'll be videoing and photographing places of interest. The next stop on this drive through the Ribble Valley and the Forest of Bowland is Slaidburn. Slaidburn is a village in Lancashire. It is one of those places that proves the north of England is not, or no longer, purely a place of dark satanic mills, clogs, cloth claps and whippets. Slaidburn is a picturesque grey stone village set on the banks of the River Hodder. In front is the village pub, Hark to the Bounty Inn. Upstairs at the Hark to the Bounty Inn served as a manorial court during much of the 19th and into the 20th century. Slaidburn used to be in the West Riding of Yorkshire. There are some 50 listed buildings here. Slaidburn is unusual in that much of it is controlled by the King Wilkinson family, which has owned most of the village since the late 19th century. This has ensured that a wealth of the vernacular buildings have survived intact, and also that the village has not suffered from development around its fringes. This black box mounted on the wall is very interesting and unusual. It's a first aid box provided by the St. John's Ambulance Brigade, and inside there the medical equipment as well as a stretcher. Slaidburn Youth Hostel is one of the oldest in the network, having originally opened its doors to visitors in 1933. The building was formerly the Black Bull Pub, King's House. This rustic home from home makes a comfortable base for ramblers and cyclists alike. My walk around Slaidburn finishes here at the village square opposite the Jubilee drinking fountain. Time to move on. We're now heading north to Bentham through the Forest of Bowland. such a beautiful scenery, I'm just going to stop here and take some photographs. This is absolutely fantastic scenery. Just look at those beautiful clouds there. Not a drop of rain in sight. I'm driving north on the Lythfell Road from Slaidburn to Bentham. This is an absolutely fabulous day to be out driving in the Forest of Bowland. This is the highest point on the road between Slaidburn and Bentham. It's called the Cross of Breath. The natives are out and about, so got to be careful. There are no pedestrian crossings here. This is a single track road with passing places. Now leaving Lancashire and going into the Craven district of North Yorkshire. On the left is Pennygent, Ingleborough and Whernside, three of the highest peaks in Yorkshire. On the left is another point of interest. The Great Stones of Forstones sits just inside North Yorkshire, on the border with Lancashire. With characteristic English wit and imagination, it is known as the Big Stone or the Great Stone of Forstones because, apparently, there used to be three more, presumably smaller stones which have long since vanished. The stones used to be a boundary marker between the two counties. Some distantly departed person has carved 14 steps in the side of the Great Stone so that you can clamber to the top. The drive continues into the market town of Bentham. Bentham is an unspoilt busy little market town on the edge of the Yorkshire Dales, Lancashire, the Lake District and the Forest of Bowland. It is a truly unspoilt spot in the north of England countryside. Farming is still key to day-to-day life in this rural town with its stunning backdrop of open fields and uninterrupted views of the Yorkshire Three Peaks. I'm now leaving Bentham and heading west, then south, to the final destination of this trip. This is the Yorkshire Dales. I'm driving towards Tosside. I've arrived at Tosside. Tosside is a small village on the border of North Yorkshire and Lancashire in northern England. It lies within the Forest of Bowland and is between the villages of Slaidburn in Lancashire and Wrigglesworth in North Yorkshire. Most of the village lies in Lancashire, but a few houses in the eastern part of the village are in North Yorkshire. St. Bartholomew's Church dates back to 1694 and features a 17th century octagonal font made of stone from the Forest of Bowland, and a Jacobean pulpit dated 1701. The nearest town to Tosside is Settle, which is 8.5 miles away. This is the main street that forms part of the boundary between Yorkshire and Lancashire. I'm currently standing on the Yorkshire side. And as I move the camera around, we're going to go into the Lancashire side. I've come to the end of the drive through the Ribble Valley, Forest of Bowland and North Yorkshire. Until the next time, like and subscribe.